Back again at the 2025 Tour de France, and this time we're lucky enough to have the bike of the potential winner of this year's race, Tadej Pogačar. It is of course the Colnago V5Rs. This is Colnago's lightweight kind of aero all-rounder race bike. Pogačar will probably race this in the mountain stages, perhaps on the Mountain TT on stage 13. We've got a little bit of behind the scenes stuff to show you on that now. The V5Rs is claimed to be the lightest disc brake road bike that Colnago has ever produced, coming in for a frame set kit, I have it on my notes here, including the derailleur hanger at 1,027 grams, which is 146 grams less than the V4RS which Pogačar was riding last year. But first, a big thanks to Abus for sponsoring this section of the video. Abus offers high quality and attractive cycling helmets designed for racing, off-road, the city commute and the family bike ride, as well as a whole range of bike locks and security devices. Hit the link below to find out more. Despite the reduction in weight though, Colnago says this new bike is more aero than the last one, coming in around 9 watts more aerodynamic at 45 kph. Now, those things are mainly due to the kind of reprofiling of the various tubes on the bikes, including you've got the kind of narrow fork here, slight tweaks to the way the head tube integrates with the down tube, and as well the rear of the bike also seems to be a lot slimmer. The seat tube and the seat posts and seat stays in particular are really slim now, and that obviously contributes to just a lower overall drag. Now, of course, Pogačar, as the World Road Race Champion, does have his own very special World Champions paint job. You can see obviously the rainbow colours here on the fork legs and then across the whole bike. Otherwise, it's all white, just like the jersey. In terms of wheels, now these appear to be brand new. These are the new ENVE SES 4.5 Pro wheels, according there, and they've got a really trick set of silver hubs and silver spokes, which you really don't see too often these days. They remind me quite a lot of the old head Stinger wheels that Team Sky used in the early days. Now, these wheels are wrapped with 28C Continental GP 5000 TTR tyres. Now, that's kind of interesting because Continental has just launched a brand new tyre that it developed exclusively for UAE Team Emirates XRG at the Tour de France, the Archetype, which we've reviewed, and you can check out our review on BikeRadar.com if you haven't already. But it looks like Pogačar is going to opt for the even lighter, potentially even faster, time trial specific version of the GP 5000 for this year's Tour. Continuing with the ENVE theme, up front Pogačar has the ENVE SES aero integrated handlebar, which looks pretty narrow. I think it's probably going to be as narrow as it was in previous years, as the new UCI regulations haven't come in yet, but they will next year, of course. And then they have the Shimano Dura-Ace Di2 R9200 group set, complete with custom carbon tie chainrings with Pogačar's own little logo engraved on the chainrings themselves. And then elsewhere, there's a whole load of little details that Pogačar only gets himself. We've got a nice little direct mount derailleur hanger at the back in a bright red colour, and Pogačar has his own little mini Hulk sticker on the handlebar up here, but he also has that laser etched into his bottom bracket shell. Even here at the Tour de France, not many people can say that they've got a custom bottom bracket. So in terms of gearing, Tadej Pogačar is running 55 40-tooth chainrings up front, paired with an 11-34 cassette out back, and he is still using 165mm cranks. Now, the team is sponsored by Absolute Black in terms of its chain lube, and this one is running a wax chain, although it looks a little bit dirty, so I'm assuming this is Tadej's training bike, and I'm sure it'll get a thorough cleaning before it ever takes to the start line of a race. Topping off the seat post, he's got a 3D printed Physique saddle. I believe this one, in fact, is actually one of Physique's custom models, meaning it's been tailored especially to Tadej Pogačar's extra special behind. And then at the bottom of the seat post, it's got an extra special tiny weight weenie race number holder, just to save those final few grams. And let's find out how much this bike actually weighs. All right, so in terms of overall weight, now we are expecting this to be light, given Colnago says it's the lightest frame they've ever produced. And on the scales, 6.765. So that is less than the UCI minimum bike weight limit of 6.8 kilos. We might have to add a little bit of weight to it somehow. All right, so in terms of measurements, Tadej Pogačar's bars are coming in at yeah, 36 centimeters center to center at the brake hoods. That's pretty much what he was running last year. Those measure just under 29 centimeters between the hoods. And then the stem length looks like a 130 millimeter stem. Okay, so these are 28C GP5000 TTTR tires, but they actually look quite wide on these rims. So let's see how much they really measure. And we have got, yeah, just around 31.3. Maybe 31.5 on the rear, 31.3 if we go tight. Now that is slightly narrower than the tyres we saw on his bike last year, but I believe then he was using GP5000 STRs and a 30C size, and then on the front, yeah, 31.2. So that is slightly narrower than last year, but I believe these rims are slightly more narrow internally so that they can use the 28C tyres and they don't have to use 30s. So a couple more little details that I've just noticed whilst we were weighing and measuring this bike. So it's got this nice little carbon tie, carbon fibre headset cap and bolt there, as well as these very nice, very, very thin Elite Leggero carbon bottle cages. So it basically looks like every little gram on this bike has been saved, and that's obviously how it's going under the UCI weight limit, even with these deep midsection wheels. Now, one of the big stages at this year's race is of course the mountain time trial on stage 13, and of course we're all wondering how the teams are going to prepare for that stage. And what we did see, not on this bike but in one of the team trucks, is a version of this bike set up with a set of clip-on carbon aero bar extensions. Now, it is mostly uphill this time trial, but there is a few kilometers of flat road just leading into the climb, and I guess the team thinks that could be worth carrying that bit of extra weight up the hill just for the ability to save a few watts on the flatter sections at the start of the stage. And there you have it, Tadej Pogačar's V5Rs. Stay tuned for more content from the 2025 Tour de France, and of course don't forget to leave us a comment and let us know what you think of this bike.